Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Shivangi Singh Astrology, and today we are going to do yet another deck review. So like I told you in my last deck review video that this one time I ordered quite a lot of tarot decks, tarot, oracle, Lenormand decks, and I got them delivered on the same day. So I got this huge box delivered by Amazon. That's because I live in India and you get the best quality of cards either from Books Depository or from Amazon, and I have not tried Books Depository yet, so I wouldn't know about that. But I can definitely say that Amazon does deliver good products. Especially there are some sellers which do a good job. So always if you are buying in India, if you are ordering tarot decks from Amazon, then definitely check the seller ratings, because in my experience with the sellers, I have found that to be true. So when someone is given a bad rating, they have a percentage, as well as you can just click on the link to the seller's name and it will show you all the reviews. I have found the reviews to be 100% accurate, and I think that the ratings, the percentage that they give is really accurate, and your experience is going to be more or less similar. So, or at least mine was. And you know that recently I have ordered like 10 new tarot decks, so now I have all of them with me and I will be reviewing quite a lot of them. So I went through my collection and noticed that there are still 7 tarot oracle decks which I haven't reviewed, and I really wanted to do that. And I have one of those decks with me here, and another deck is there, and then I have this whole pile over here. So as you can see, I have quite a lot of decks which I need to review. Also, just a personal update that I recently uploaded 2 Hindi videos on my YouTube channel, and I had no idea that there is such a demand for Hindi tarot videos in India, or I don't know, like people, Indian diaspora is the largest in the world, so anywhere in the world. But or like generally any Hindi speaking people, not every Indian speaks or knows Hindi, but anyone who is interested in the language. I'm not sure exactly who my viewers are, but it received the largest number of views any video on my YouTube channel has received, and for that I'm really grateful. Thank you to all my subscribers. Don't worry, I will be uploading all the videos that you've requested for, and just keep telling me what you want me to make a video on, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. My Instagram and Facebook pages are also with the same name, that is Shivangi Singh Astrology, and you will have no trouble finding me. Just go to the search bar. I will be linking all the information in the description box below, or you can simply go to Facebook or Instagram and search for Shivangi Singh Astrology and you will find my pages. So I do a lot of free pick a card readings from time to time, and I have to do a lot of that every time I get a new deck or every time I feel inspired to do so, which is every so often. I do have my free pick a card readings over there, and there are other giveaways and contests and other fun, interesting things that you can be a part of. So definitely connect with me over there, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can keep on getting all the amazing updates, and we can be a family, Shivangi Singh Astrology family. It would be so nice to have that. Anyway, starting with the review. So I have this beautiful deck which is really costly in India, I'm not gonna lie. Mostly all tarot decks are, but this one especially is, because it has become so popular. Almost every YouTube channel that I've seen, almost every YouTuber who is a professional at tarot reading and not just a collector owns this deck. So I was really attracted to this deck because it has the word witch in it. Anything with witch energy is something that is very attractive to me, and it's a word that I've come to associate with myself, because I think it really holds a lot of power. So witches were essentially the first feminists of the world, and I am a feminist myself. And I actually have an NGO, I have a social initiative which is working towards women's rights. And right from the beginning of my career, and even when I was a kid, this was an issue which was very, very important in my life. Even before I knew the word feminism, I knew that this is what I truly, truly want to do with my life. So whether it is tarot, whether it is associating with the name witch, whether it is my social work, which I've been doing right from the very beginning of my career, that is along with my graduation, along with my college, I have been associated and working towards this cause. So I'm quite happy that I'm part of a community which is the tarot/witch community, which is so welcoming to people across genders, across sexual orientations, races, because it's all about the soul, it's all about the energies. I'm sorry, my voice is a little shaky today. I'm actually under the weather and I've been dealing with a lot of personal issues. There's been a death in the family and my mother had a surgery done. A lot of things have been coming up, so I've had very little to no time for self-care. I have barely been able to make time for my work life, and hence the whole gap between my last video and this one. And also my NGO work has suffered a little bit. My travels, the ones that I had planned as per my work schedule, hadn't happened. So yeah, it's been a lot. Now, beginning with this deck, first thing that I love, absolutely love about this is how big it is. Now, I've said this, I'm so sorry. I've said this a lot of times on my videos that I have quite long hands. So I love it when a deck, whether it's Lenormand or Oracle or Tarot, is huge. Like I get to hold something, you know, I like my hands full. So this deck definitely delivers in terms of the cover, the boxing. You know, the outer box is certainly the biggest one I have, whether it is, you know, Oracle, Lenormand decks are anyway really tiny, but out of all the decks that I own, this has to be the largest box at least. Now, this is actually by Deborah Blake, and Deborah Blake is really famous and I would love to read more of her books. The only problem is her books are not available in India. And even on Books Depository, I don't think I found the book that I was looking for. That is Everyday Witchcraft by Deborah Blake. So in case you guys know the links to buying this book called Everyday Witchcraft by Deborah Blake in India, do let me know, because I've been searching and haven't found it yet. And I really want to buy that book. So first came that book, and Deborah Blake is actually an author and she has been working with very reputed publishing houses, and she has been doing a really good job with her writings, and she writes on issues with, you know, I mean, mostly she writes fiction. Sometimes she writes books like Everyday Witchcraft, which have to do with her life and existence as a witch. And then we have the lovely artist Elizabeth Alba. There is another deck, Everyday Witch Oracle deck, which I'm planning to buy next because I think it would be a wonderful addition. Plus, I have seen the unboxing and review of that particular deck and I think it's really beautiful. So I'm definitely gonna buy that. Now coming to this, the first thing is that it's really sturdy. You know, one of the sturdiest boxes that I have by far. And then it has this magnetic flap. Like I've told you many times in my videos, I'm a huge fan of magnetic flaps. Look at this. This is just lovely for me. And then we have this. So every single card in this deck has a picture very beautifully depicted with black cats, pointed hats, and magic brooms. I'm almost transported to the world of Harry Potter and Hogwarts. So as with any other tarot deck, it has 78 cards, and we have a guidebook, which in this case is pretty heavy. It's 264 pages, and As you can see, it's by so the box is really nice. I love the packaging, absolutely love the images. So this is how it opens. Then we have this book, and we have this nice little ribbon to open it. Pull it out. Now again, one of the biggest disappointments for me is the size of the cards. So you see all of this space, like nearly 2 inches on each side, has been wasted. And what we get are these cards which are very pretty, but then they're also very, very tiny. In fact, this is the tiniest tarot deck that I have. Now that doesn't mean that I love it any less. I really do love it. It's just that it's really tiny, and when a card is this tiny, for me it's a huge disappointment, because you give me this huge box, right? And I'm expecting larger tarot decks, larger than normal, and what I get are the tiniest tarot decks. This is such a waste of space, poor packaging, poor decision in packaging, and then just like, it's not nice when you are putting in so much effort in the artwork and then you get something really tiny. It's just not fulfilling. I need bigger cards, not just because my hands are big, but because I like beautiful artwork. I like looking at it. And in this deck, I'm definitely not happy with the size. I don't like how tiny the cards are. It's just really, really sad that they have wasted all this space. Now the good part is this book. So most of the books that we receive are actually not very well planned, well executed, and we actually really lose interest. Not this book. Even though this is a tarot guidebook, and I have been doing tarot professionally since 2015 and learning since 2009, I'm actually quite intrigued to buy the book. It's one of the most beautiful books that I've seen, that have come along with a tarot deck or an oracle deck. I like that it's full color. It's in full color. I like the size. I like that it's a big book. It's not tiny. So at least this deck delivers in terms of the size of the book. I like it. And the book is written in a really nice form. I love the way Deborah Blake writes. This is why I actually read this book. Not cover to cover, but because I know a lot of tarot cards I've been doing. I know the meanings. I know different interpretations. But I still read, quite a lot of information that was presented here, which was new. So apart from the meanings of the cards themselves, I love how detailed it is in terms of talking about the author, about the artist, and how they met. It creates a whole story here in the first chapter. So let me take you to what it is. So you see, chapter 3 is the only one which deals with the cards. Everything else, chapter 1, 2, 4, everything has a lot to do with everything else. So this book talks about a little bit of everyday witchcraft. That is to say, how you can use some simple incantations and just some affirmations to put the right intentions in motion to manifest what it is that you want. And I love how they have given some space for notes. Towards the end of some of the cards, there's a space for notes. Like if you want to make your own notes, if you notice something interesting about your methods and the way you use the cards, then you can go ahead and do that. And there are a few witch methods, and there are a few spells, quote unquote spells. They're really just short rhymes, rhythms, and poems that you can use as positive affirmations. So the book actually really delivers for me. With this deck, it was worth just for this book and the way Deborah Blake writes. I think she writes like a dream come true. I'm a writer myself. I have been a writer since I was 6 years old, writer, poet, playwright, but I love Deborah Blake's writing. It's really, really good. It takes a lot to impress me when you are a writer, but Deborah Blake does that, and she does that well. So I'm actually very happy. And then we have the actual cards. Now I love the back image. Okay, I love this. Love this. It's really beautiful. The cards themselves are very beautiful. The only complaint that I have is that they are really small, really tiny. But you know, this deck is very popular, extremely popular. If there is one tarot deck which is, really popular after the Rider-Waite-Smith, it has to be this deck. So just look at the images. They are beautiful. And these are images that you can somewhere relate to as a witch, or just like something that will really appeal to you. In fact, I would highly recommend this deck to beginners, because I think they will really learn a lot from the book. I think beginners are the ones who actually go through the book, and they will find it very useful. So this deck is something I will certainly recommend to you if you are beginning your tarot journey, because these cards, the artwork has been inspired by the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the original, and they even give you the name of the card, so it's easy for you to recognize what is what. And the names are the original names. They have not put their own little spin to it, and that's why this deck is perfect for beginners, especially if you have an inkling that you might be interested in the tag of a witch. If you feel that it's something for you, then you can definitely go for it. Even if you don't identify with the witch label, you can just keep it as something you read on Halloween with, or just post pictures of. The pictures are really beautiful. And this book is definitely something that I would recommend, and you should definitely check out the book. So this is the artwork on the cover, and it's beautiful. Artwork is very beautiful. The card stock is a little thin, but it's not something that will wear over time. So there's no plastic that would come off, there's no peeling. I think it's really good. In fact, one day I slept with the cards out in the open and under my pillow, and one of the cards got a little trampled, but the next day I saw that it was okay. Like there was no major deconstruction of the card that happened, no major damage. It was looking really nice. So definitely a good card stock that way. Nothing too high maintenance. Just like look at everything, the mood, the color, the attire, everything has been captured really nicely. I love the Temperance. I love how one of her eyes is open and the other is closed. It's really nice. So I have read quite a lot with this deck. I won't lie, in spite of the size, in spite of the fact that there is no gilding, which are two of the things that I really look for in any of the decks that I get or I buy for myself. In spite of no gilding and the small size, I'm actually quite in love with this deck. I have been using it very much, and I love it. I just really love it. But it would have been better if there was some kind of edging or gilding provided with this deck, and if the size was bigger, because you've wasted all of this space, all this packaging. You could have increased the size of the deck. It would have just really made the artwork stand out. So this is what this deck looks like. Now there is a YouTuber I follow who has the edges not gilded, but he edged them with the same color as this. So there's an inky blue hue to the entire deck because he edged them on. He did the gilding himself in ink blue color, same as this color, and it looked really beautiful. But that's not something that I'm gonna try, and the reason is I recently tried doing something with Tattoo Tarot, that deck, and I will make a video on what exactly I did. So if you've seen my Tattoo Tarot 8 coins Tattoo Tarot review, you know that I did not like that deck at all. When I first saw it, I just really hated it. But then I asked my followers on Instagram what should I do, whether they like the images or not, and they actually liked it. They advised me to keep it, so I kept that deck. But since I couldn't connect with it, I put my own little spin to it. So I will be making a video on what it is that I did to make that deck my own, because now I'm able to connect with it. Now I'm able to use it quite frequently. So I will be doing that. Keep on the lookout for that. Watch out for that video, because it's going to be quite informative for all you new witches out there. So with this deck, I'm missing some form of edging. So after I saw that particular YouTuber and tarot card collector use that ink blue color to edge all of these cards, do the edging for the entire deck, I fell in love with that format. I wish they have done that with this deck. I wish this deck itself came with that ink blue edging. I think that would have been splendid. That would have just completed this deck. So I like this deck. I have been using it quite often, and just that there are two complaints from my side. First of all, they've wasted a lot of space, and the deck cards are actually the smallest tarot cards that I own, and I do own 5 different kinds of tarot decks. So when you promise me something this big and you give me something this tiny, I'm just really disappointed. So that is definitely one big disadvantage of these cards, that they're really small. And then there is no gilding, no edging of any kind. If they can provide ink blue edging of this same color, then that would be just perfect. That would make this deck complete. Without that, I always feel that the tarot deck or oracle decks are just not complete. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of the Everyday Witch Tarot. Do let me know in the comment section what else would you want me to make a video on, and I will definitely accommodate your request. And to all my Hindi viewers out there, Hindi speaking viewers, I will be making more Hindi videos because I've been receiving way too many requests, and I do plan to accommodate every single one of them. So stay tuned. Do subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, like my Facebook page, that is, and let me know in the comment section any and all thoughts you have about this video, or what your experiences have been with the Everyday Witch Tarot. I would love to hear from you. So with that, I would bid you goodbye. I would wish you a very happy witching season, and I just wish lots of love and light for you. Bye.